What's going on, guys? Zuko back with another Shadowlands video. How are y'all doing? Listen, I still got my eye on you. I love this thing. It's so good. We're back on the warrior. Grab your coffee. We're gonna talk about warrior stuff. I've been gaining power on my warrior, getting some gear. And we've done a plus 15. I tanked a 15 streets. I'm going to talk about that from a protection warrior point of view and give you some ideas as to why protection warrior might actually be good as a tank. What tools does it bring to help your team be successful? All that kind of stuff, right? So we are, of course, the panda still. My transmog is still really bad, but that's not the point. That's not why you're here. So grab your coffee. Here's what I want to do for this video. I want to talk about, I'm going to do a bit of a deep dive on Prot Warrior because I think most people have no idea what it's about because nobody plays it right now. So we're going to spend a few minutes talking about what Prot Warrior kind of does. Then I'm going to tell you my build, and then we're going to get into the video and I'll show you some of the tips and tricks, some of the hints, some of the cool highlights from the Warrior in the dungeon. So let's start with that. Let me start on Warrior itself. Why is Warrior even good? Most people don't play Warrior. It's at the bottom of the tank tier. Zuko, why would you even pick it up? I mean, obviously I'm picking it up because, number one, I actually enjoy playing it. It's actually fun to play. Number two, I'm trying to see if what people are saying about Prot Warrior is actually true. That it's actually like garbage tier. That it deserves to be at the bottom of the tier list for all the tanks. I think the main reason that Prot Warrior is near the bottom is because the very high-end key people take Blood Death Knights and, Demon Hunters and Guardian Druids. A lot of the other tanks have self-healing. They have self-sustain. Monks now, with their tier set bonus, have insane self-healing. So, Prot Warrior didn't gain any extra self-healing. They have the same old self-healing that they've had, which is less than every other tank. So, I think that's the main reason why they're not taken, is that they didn't maybe gain as much damage as the other tanks did with their tier set bonuses, and they didn't gain as much self-healing as, say, Blood Death Knights and Monks did in particular with their tier set bonuses. So that's, I think, why a huge reason, a couple big reasons why Warrior is at the bottom, quote unquote. But does that mean Warrior is actually bad? And the answer to that, I think, astoundingly, is no. And of course, I need to push into higher keys and get some more gear. Excuse me, but let me tell you why Warrior is good. Warrior revolves mostly around block, right? So your mastery says you have a higher chance to block, and now you also have a chance to critically block, which blocks for twice the amount. If I block something, it stops 30% of the damage that I would have taken, 30.5, okay? If I critically block, it stops 60% of the physical damage that I would have got hit by. It's only for physical damage, right? So that's a massive thing that you can do. And of course, you can put up shield block, which guarantees that you're going to have a chance to block for 6 seconds, right? And it also increases your shield slam damage, which is pretty cool. But the main thing is that you have a guaranteed way to block, which means you have guaranteed damage reduction. The way that Prot Warrior works a lot of the time is that you take very small incremental amounts of damage until you get down to the lower ends of your health bar, and then you end up just dying. And you have no way of regaining your health in a big death strike or a big keg smash that hits 10 guys and heals you to full. So that's why Warrior is a little bit more frustrating to play for some tanks, is that it doesn't have as much agency when you get really low on health. You do have buttons like Last Stand that keep you alive and Shield Wall, yada yada, but it's not quite the same. So I understand why people aren't really in love with Prot Warrior, but Prot Warrior will basically never get one shot by a physical damage because you can always put your shield up and block it. So let me get into what the tier set bonus does for Prot Warrior, because it's a really significant tier set bonus. It's actually, I think, hard to understand. Maybe at first, it's hard to track it, is what I want to say. But basically, it has everything to do with Avatar, and then all of your abilities sort of giving you this buff called Outburst. So here's what it says. Consuming 30 Rage grants a stack of Seething Red, which transforms at 8 stacks into Outburst, causing your next Shield Slam or Thunderclap to be 200% more effective and grant Ignore Pain. Okay? Very important. We'll get back to that in a second. Avatar increases your damage by an additional 10%. It does 20% baseline. So now Avatar does 30% more damage. You do 30% more damage. And it decreases your damage taken by 10%. Avatar also instantly grants Outburst. So there's actually like so many things going on in this tier set bonus. So first of all, consuming 30 Rage is not very hard to do. You know, Ignore Pain's 35 and Revenge is 20. So generally speaking, you're going to be pressing Ignore Pain and Shield Block. Those are your main defensive spenders. You're going to start to stack up Outburst very, very quickly. Okay? Once you get to 8 stacks, you get Outburst, which causes your next Shield Slam or Thunderclap to be 200% more effective. It's important to understand the language there. It doesn't just mean the Thunderclap does, or Shield Slam does 200% more damage. It means they generate 200% more Rage as well. So Shield Slam generates 15 Rage. You can get 30 Rage from one Shield Slam. You can get 10 Rage from one Thunderclap. So again, that's really important to understand that it does a lot of extra damage and it generates a ton of extra Rage. And it gives you Ignore Pain. So this 2 set also says that you get 35 Rage for free. Like, you get an Ignore Pain for free, which is actually really, really significant. Because Ignore Pain just blocks all damage, right? Magic damage, physical damage, doesn't matter what it is. So your Shield Slam and Thunderclap do twice as much damage. They generate twice as much Rage, and you get a free defensive stat. So you get big offense and a bit of defense. Now, and then it says when you press Avatar, you're going to get 10% more damage and take 10% less damage, and you instantly get that Outburst proc. Now, I've been testing this quite a bit, and one thing to understand about this is that if you are stacking up, if you're getting stacks of that Seething Red buff and you're getting close to your Outburst, if you then press Avatar and instantly get Outburst, it doesn't cancel the stacking effect that you had going. Let's say you're at 6 stacks of Seeing Red, and you're trying to get to 8, right? You're at 6 stacks, and then you press Avatar, because it comes off cooldown. Those 6 stacks just stay there, and then you consume... your Avatar gives you Outburst, so you press Thunderclap, and it consumes the buff, and then you stack up, get 2 more stacks of your Seeing Red, and you get Outburst again, and you press Thunderclap again. So, like, you can have a situation where you're getting, like, 2 Thunderclaps right in a row that do a ton of damage and generate Rage, or you're on a single target boss, let's say, and you get 2 Shield Slams back-to-back that generate 30 Rage each. So that's 60 Rage, and they do double damage, which is a lot. They do, like, 6k damage. So really, really, really crazy. Like, a lot of damage there. So that's what's unique about this set. It's kind of cool. You can have this buff stacking up on your bar, and then if you press Avatar, it won't get rid of that buff. It doesn't cancel it out. They sort of add on to each other. So that's very, very cool. Defensively, this is very strong. You get 10% damage reduction, and you get Ignore Pain whenever this Outburst is going off. Ignore Pains also just stack up on top of each other, and they don't, like, diminish. There's no diminishing returns there. So there's no fear of, like, consuming this buff back-to-back and getting those 2 Ignore Pains and having them, like, cancel each other out. That's just not a possibility. So it's a very strong set, actually. It's very, very good. And it gives you damage. It gives you damage reduction. It gives you just straight defense with Ignore Pain. It's just good. It saves you Rage. It helps you save Rage because it gives you Ignore Pain for free. Very good. It's actually just all around really, really good. And it's just generally weaves into the Prot Warrior kit very well. And it allows you to choose which buff you want to use. Do you want to do single target damage or AoE damage? And then you're going to get defense for free. So I think this is actually very strong. I'm going to hopefully show you, in particular, the damage that this class, that Prot Warrior can put out in a dungeon is absurd to me. It's actually crazy. At my eye level, at 248, I'm doing, like, a crazy amount of damage. So let's get into my build really quickly, and then I'll get to the dungeon footage. So I ran Night Fae, and I ran with this legendary. This is Reprisal. So it says that Charge and Intervene grant you Shield Block for 4 seconds, Revenge, and generate 20 Rage. So the Revenge with an exclamation mark is a passive that you can get. It basically just says that your successful dodges and parries have a chance to make your next Revenge cost no Rage. That's what you're getting from Reprisal. You're getting that no Rage cost Revenge, which is really good. That's really the only time you want to press Revenge as a Prot Warrior, because otherwise you need to spend your Rage on defense. So you charge in, and it gives you Shield Block right away, and Revenge, and generates Rage. That's actually bonkers. It's really, really good, because Shield Block, again, is just 30% damage reduction for free. On top of that, if you intervene somebody like mid-pull, which I do all the time, you can also get this effect as well. So you can get it twice. And then you can run in the talents. You can run double time if you want to. I've been running Rumbling Earth just because I want to have more CC for my group. But you could definitely run double time. That's probably what you should go with. But that's more like if you're in a raid scenario. A lot of the time, it's just better to have CC in a Mythic Plus. Let me show you my talents. I've got Devastator, of course, because I have too many other buttons to be pressing. I don't really have time to press Devastate, to be honest. It's better just to have it go off for free. Rumbling Earth gives Shockwave its cooldown back, which is your big AoE stun, which is absolutely crazy. Booming Voice is amazing because Demoralizing Shout is like one of your best buttons in the entire kit. It decreases damage enemies do to you. It increases the damage that you deal to them. Oh, no, it doesn't. I thought it did. Is that what Booming Voice does? Yes, there it is. Here it is. So, when you press Demo Shout, you get 40 rage, you do 20% more damage to everybody nearby, and you take 25% less damage for 8 seconds. Like, absolutely bonkers cooldown. Really, really good. So, I would take Booming Voice every time. I take Bounding Stride, but you should... Crackling Thunder is also very good. I'm going to do another video where I talk about the Thunderclap build and how good Crackling Thunder is. Indomitable is kind of the go-to for healing. This is your only healing in your entire kit, really, besides your Ignore Pains. This is like actual health that you're getting back. Indomitable. Impending Victory is like an interesting idea, especially because there is a conduit right here called Indelible Victory, which says Victory Rush heals you even more over time after you actually press the button. But unfortunately, it has proven to just not be good enough. Like even right now, if I put this on, my Impending Victory only does like 1400 damage, even though this is going to heal me for like 600% of the damage once I put that in there. It's still only like 8 or 9,000. I think it's 9,000 healing over 8 seconds. So a 9k heal over 8 seconds is not as good as having 10% more health and every 10 rage you spend healing you for 1% of that maximum health. Like, I'm going to get a 9k heal every time Indomitable goes off, basically, because my health is almost at 100%, or 100,000, sorry. And 1% of 100,000 is 1,000, right? So, you be getting, let's say, when Indomitable goes off, if you're pressing, like, Ignore Pain, that's 3.5k healing, just by pressing Ignore Pain. Also, you're getting the shield from Ignore Pain, but you're healing for 3,500 health. But obviously, Indomitable scales into the later parts of the expansion. I don't even have a lot of health right now, whereas Victory Rush just doesn't scale as well. So Indomitable is definitely better. I'm going Ravager right now. I'm not doing a Avatar Thunderclap build. I'm actually going to be doing that tonight. I'm going to test it out. But Ravager is very, very strong. It generates rage, and it does a lot of physical damage. So Ravager is actually just a great, great ability, and it chases enemies around. And then Anger Management is kind of obvious now because of the tier set bonus. So if you don't take Anger Management with this tier set bonus, you're kind of trolling, because Avatar gives you Outburst instantly. So you kind of need to take Anger Management now, which is fine. I think we were kind of taking that before. Those are my talents. I did go Night Fae. My Conduits are just pretty standard stuff, nothing crazy. I think you really do want Brutal Vitality, and then you're going to want the Night Fae Conduit itself, and then the Revenge Conduit is also very, very good. Increasing Thunderclap's damage with the Force set is really good. So that's it, guys. Let's get into the video. That was a lot of rambling. I just wanted to really highlight the different parts of Warrior that people don't always understand because they don't play it a lot. It's not really played these days. So let me get to the video. Let's back up to 228.55. Let's get to the opener. I got a charge, dude. Let me turn my webcam on. So, here we go. Look at our damage right off the bat here. Also, Radiant Pulse is going off right now. That's that big AoE burst of damage. This is a plus 15 streets. Big burst of AoE damage coming out from this Radiant Pulse. I just press Spell Reflect right here, and watch how much damage I take. I literally don't take any damage. I'm doing 17k DPS right now. And I've used like most of my DPS buttons, but like it's really, really good. The damage from Warrior is extremely strong. It's just I can't get over it. It's just something about it. Lots of mobility too, of course. You've got the ability to charge and leap. Remember, I am using the legendary where if I charge, I get shield block, and if I intervene somebody, I get shield block as well. So right here, I think I have Intervene that just came off cooldown. I could Intervene Sleepa. I think I do right here. There it is. I just charged him. So because I intervened to him, I now have shield block for 3 more seconds. So again, these guys are mostly casting spells. So I need to be pressing Ignore Pain. Sorry, a lot more. This is the one thing about Warrior that's actually really interesting. You get to choose your defense, which could be a good thing or a bad thing. Like lots of other tanks just have, they just have defense all the time, or like a Death Knight is just healing all the time. That is his defense, right? So Warrior, you really get to choose. Like, what are the enemies in front of me doing? Are they casting spells or are they auto-attacking me? If they're auto-attacking me, I need to have shield block up. If they're casting spells, I need to be pressing Ignore Pain way more often. So it's just an interesting choice that you get to make as a Prot Warrior. But these are just the opening packs.
If we go too much bigger, so.
I was taking this really slow because again, I'm 248. I'm really low, or 250 or something. Really, really low on eye level, so I don't want to go too crazy. But it's just the damage is really impressive to me at this eye level. If I was 275 eye level, I would be doing so much more damage. Like on the big AoE pulls, I'd be doing probably 20k. Here's another Radiant Pulse that just went off. I press Spell Reflection right here, which again, Spell Reflect reflects the next spell cast on you if it's like a single target spell that's actually cast on your character.
I'll kick the small thing.
It also reduces all magic damage you take by 20%. So you got to remember that. It's really, really strong. Let's move ahead here. Here's Zo'phex. The boss fight. Nothing too crazy here, except that, again, when you're playing Night Fae and you put Ancient Aftershock on the ground, you do have to try and keep the enemy in your Ancient Aftershock because it does a bunch of damage over time after it lands. So that's the only kind of interesting part about that ability. It can be a little tricky sometimes to, like, keep people in the same spot. I think for, like, Sanguine weeks, it'll be particularly frustrating, but you just have to work with it. It's just the way that all these things go. You have to... You just have to like adapt to the situation that's in front of you. So yeah, nothing too crazy on Zo'phex here. Let me push forward. I spent a lot of time talking about Warrior earlier, so I'm just gonna push forward. I just want to say in general that it feels really good. Like I'm taking a lot of damage right now. This is a moment right here where I'm taking a lot of damage. This is what I was talking about earlier with Warrior. There is no Death Strike. There is no Keg Smash with a tier set that gets all your health back. There is no Word of Glory from a Prot Paladin. You don't have that kind of tool. So you do have to try and mitigate as much upfront damage as you can and use as many Ignore Pains as you can to stop the damage from coming in. If you do get low, though, you do have Last Stand. That is a button you can press. And I do happen to get low right here in a second. Okay. Just a lot of magic damage hitting me. So I get really low right here, and I pop Last Stand. And there you go. You can see my HPS right now is 7.2. So it's not that Warrior can't do any, like, healing over time. It's not true. I'm out healing the priest. Almost 8k healing right now. There, she's got me back up to full now, which is great. But I'm doing like 7 to 8k healing right now because, you know, Warrior does have that in their kit. It's just not as obvious as like a Death Knight pressing Death Strike. So you just have to remember that as a Warrior. You know, Ignore Pain is really what you're looking for. It just has a ridiculous amount of value. If you can keep stacking it over and over and over again, it'll be really good for you. So let me push forward. 239.45. Remember on this dungeon that you're going to go down these stairs. Like, you're going to go left after the first boss. If you go to the left over here, like next to the stairs, the Menagerie boss fight is like right over here. Okay, it's right over here. You can go to the left here and start the RP, which right. Sid will do in a second, our priest here. They go and start the RP.
I don't think we started the RP, did we?
No, but I can do it right now.
So Sid goes and does it right now. So they're like on the other side of this wall over here, and you can kind of sneak in and start the RP there.
I know, right? Isn't it good?
Just so you guys know. Here's my amazing transmog.
It would look so fucking cool if they removed the mask off the front of
yeah.
the blue form.
I just want to be a blue head.
Yeah, I don't know why Blizzard put the mask on the front, honestly. So here's the Menagerie boss fight.
This should be fun to watch the Hunter on.
This is very good for Warrior. It's mostly auto attacks, which like is a dream for Prot Warrior because you just put shield block up and that's just what you do. So it's no problem for Prot Warrior at all.
What was the issue there? The edge?
There are some things you can spell reflect as well. Like I think you can spell reflect this grand consumption here, but I didn't try it. I just sort of walked out of it like a good boy. But I think you could actually spell reflect it if you wanted to. Right here, I actually end up charging back in too early. But again, I have so many ignore pains on me right now. This is a plus 15, guys. It's not like this does no damage, but you know, it's just cool to see how durable the warrior really is. Remember, on the second boss of this fight, you want to stack him in the corner. Always stack him in the corner so that this venting protocol right here that's going out right now bounces off the back wall and then comes out in the same direction. So this person who has the blue thing can just go collect all the orbs really, really easily. That's what you want. So you want to always... I'm pulling him back into the corner here right before he dies. Pull him right into the corner. And then he's going to die here, so all the orbs are going to spawn right there. And then when you fight this third boss of the Menagerie, it's not going to be an issue at all. You can just fight right in this corner. And the person who has the blue stuff, Sleepa's got it right now. Sleepa can just go grab the orbs really easily and not lose a lot of damage. So that's that fight right there. Let's move forward. One thing I want to say right here is that the... these guys are really annoying. These little market peacekeepers. They'll do this ability called Phalanx. Let's look at it right here. Unless they did it earlier. They might have done it earlier. Let's just back up a little bit. I just want to show it. There it is. Phalanx Field right here. Phalanx Field. They put a little dome around themselves, and then they like can't be hurt. So you want to use Shockwave. That's your big AoE stun. I Shockwave both of them right here. Boom, there it is, and it breaks them from doing it, and then you can do more damage. So again, more tools from the warrior, which is really good. This is awesome right here. Watch this power kick. This is the mini boss, Commander Zophar. He does a power kick on the tank, and if you're not standing against a wall, you're going to get kicked into the trash. So make sure you're standing against the wall right here. Watch how much I block on my character panel right over here. Look to the left on my character panel. I just blocked 21.9 thousand damage. 22,000 damage was blocked because I had shield wall up, or shield block up in the top here. So I'm guaranteeing that I'm going to get a block off. So 22,000 damage gets blocked.
Oh, I got kicked.
There's another 10,000 blocked right there. And then another 3,000 gets blocked right here. So like 34,000 damage got blocked. Like I didn't take 34,000 damage. That's what happened because I had shield block up. That's the power of a warrior. Like, that's it right there. These kinds of moments when you're getting absolutely decked with physical damage, I just blocked almost 35,000 damage, which is almost half my health. Like, it's really cool. That's where you get to see how awesome warrior can really be. Again, power kick again. I barely took any damage there because I had shield block up. It's just awesome. Just really, really good. Remember to always open this gate.
Oh, this idiot.
We're going to kill this guy and go into the mailroom. I'm going to Shockwave. I'm doing Shockwave right now on all these guys in the mailroom because you can stop the chickens from spawning. That's another thing you want to think about when you're doing this. Make sure you always use your Shockwave. This is why I love to take the talent that reduces the cooldown of Shockwave because I'll have it up for the next pack, which is right over here, which again, they're trying to go get the chickens open and I can Shockwave them again, which I think I just did. So here it is. Here's this pack. This little guy right here. I'm going to Shockwave them all again. Boom, there it is. Now nobody can go open the gates to get the chickens out. This guy in the back's actually opening the cage, unfortunately. So somebody missed him there, but that's just, again, tools that the warrior has to bring to the table, which is really awesome.
Okay, here we go.
Then we do the postmaster fight. Nothing too crazy here. You can reduce damage that you take from this potion by pressing spell reflect. I think I pressed it earlier for some reason, but you can reduce a lot of damage that you take here just with spell reflect, which is really, really great. But again, ignore pain also does the job. You just keep pressing ignore pain, man, and it's just really, really good. So that's it. Postmaster, we end up killing. Then we do the marketplace, and we'll just get past it. We get to the boss fight here. Let's just go to the end, actually. There's nothing.
I think it's actually
like the damage is really good. Let me just say that. Let me show you here. This is like a low amount of targets here, but Night Fae is just really crazy. You want to kick that one guy and charge to the next guy, and then I use my Ancient Aftershock. Look at my damage right now.
It's actually quite good.
Look at my damage here. It's bananas, man.
Need to learn how to use it as well.
18, 19k, almost 20k on 4 targets. Like, Ancient Aftershock just hits way too hard. It's just really, really strong.
Yep.
So we kill Zogron, and we go to Suzami at the end.
That's the conclusion, guys.
And nothing too crazy to talk about in this fight either. Again, a lot of the fight is just the boss auto-attacking you. That's what he's doing. That's the bulk of this fight for the tank, right? Is that you're just getting auto-attack. So make sure you have shield block up right away. And you'll stop most of that damage from coming through. If you have shield block up, you're taking 30% reduced damage from those auto attacks, and if you get a critical block, you take 60% less damage. So just really crazy.
Oh boy.
We get a really close Shuri here. We just have to take triangle though. No big deal. You don't have to panic here. Just bring him through. Again, I'm not even taking damage here. Like Sid is healing me, which is great, but I'm just not even taking damage, which is super cool. Then double technique. Make sure you always someone's gonna kick the first one early, and then you want to kick the second one at the very, very end. I actually have a timer up in the top left that tells me when it's going off. 3, 2, 1. So I kick it at the very end. That's what you want. You want to kick it within the last second if you can. So that's it. That's the whole dungeon right there. I get Keystone Master on my warrior. I don't know why. I don't even know why it said that. But anyway, it's funny.
Things, or do I just want to soul shape through 3 at a time?
Yeah.
But that's like 147 rating. Let's go back to the gameplay here really quick. I'll just finish this up. So our damage overall, let me look. Oh, I went and did Torghast, so I can't see. Our damage overall was 6.6k. I can see in the video here. Our healing overall was basically 3k. So again, that can get a lot better the more gear we're going to get. Again, guys, we're only, what are we right now? 248. We're 248. Like it's just nothing. We basically have nothing on. But anyway, I'm really excited about Prot Warrior. This is a really interesting legendary. I'm actually going to start trying a Claplord build with this Thunderlord Stompers build. Each enemy hit by Thunderclap reduces the cooldown of a demoralizing shot by 1 foot. So I'm going to try this tonight, actually. I'm going to give it a shot in some keys and see how it feels with the different legendary of this. So Avatar increases the damage of Thunderclap and reduces its cooldown by 50%. So I'm going to try this tonight, and I'm going to maybe do some videos on the Thunderlord build as well. Oh, sorry, my webcam's not up. I do that every time. So I'm really excited to try some different builds on Warrior. I'm very excited to keep bringing Warrior content for you guys. I'm going to push into plus 15 keys with this guy. Like, it's not even a problem at this point with the Warrior. So I'm really excited. I'm excited to get some more gear on it and just see how far we can kind of push this class. Again, also continuing to do shaman content, and we're going to do some rogue videos as well. So don't worry, guys, if you're interested in those classes, I will continue to do stuff on those as well. Thank you so much for watching. Sorry it's a little bit longer. I wanted to take a deep dive on Warrior and really give you guys an idea of how it all works. Hopefully you have a better idea of that. Now, if you have any questions for me down below, put them in the comments below this video. Let's talk about Prot Warrior. Let's get a conversation going on that, because I'm very excited about this tank, actually. I think it's going to be really fun. So thank you guys so much for watching. Drop a like down below if you did like it, and subscribe if you haven't already. If you want to support the future of what I'm doing here on the channel, Patreon is going to be the best way to do it, guys. I have a couple different tiers. I would really, really love it if you went and checked out the Patreon. If you could support me on a monthly basis, I'd really appreciate it. Thank you, guys. I love you all. I'll see you later.